Everyone thinks they know the Sabalenka Gauff story. The controversy, the apology, the redemption, the TikTok dance. But hours ago, Coco Gauff sat in the Wimbledon press room and revealed something that changes everything. While the world focused on Sabalenka's transformation, they missed the real story. Coco Gauff has been the strategic mastermind behind this entire narrative from day one.
What Gauff revealed today is a masterclass in public relations and emotional intelligence. She admitted she was tempted to clap back, that the TikTok was strategic, and that she's been controlling the narrative while making everyone think it was about Sabalenka's growth. This is next-level strategic thinking from a 21-year-old.
The tennis world has been praising Gauff for her grace and maturity, but what she just admitted shows something far more sophisticated. She's been playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. Every move has been calculated to maximize her image while minimizing long-term damage to the sport.
Today we're dissecting the real story behind the story. How a 21-year-old champion became the puppet master of tennis's biggest controversy, why her high-road strategy was brilliant brand management, and what this reveals about the new generation of athletes who understand the game beyond the game. Let's start with the moment that reveals everything. When asked about the Sabalenka situation, Gauff made an admission that nobody saw coming.
At first, it was a little tempting just because the apology did come a little bit later. I thought it was going to come pretty quick, but after that, I didn't want to fuel more hate. I'm not the person that would fuel hate in the world.
That word tempting is everything. It reveals that Gauff's response wasn't natural grace, it was a conscious strategic choice. She considered retaliation, evaluated the consequences, and chose the option that would serve her long-term interests. That's not maturity, that's sophisticated brand management.
But that's not all. Gauff then revealed the strategic thinking behind the famous TikTok dance that everyone thought was spontaneous reconciliation.
I think the TikTok was more like we would do a TikTok anyways. We have in the past at WTA finals and things like that. But I think that was just more so just to kind of show people that we are on good terms and there's a lot of things that have been said and I'm not someone that supports hate.
Listen to that language. Show people that we are on good terms. This wasn't about genuine friendship, it was about public perception management. She identified that the controversy was generating too much negativity and used the TikTok as a visual reset button for the narrative.
Then Gauff revealed something even more telling about her long-term thinking.
I think we're both tired of talking about it, to be honest. I thought it would be a good idea for that just so people can really see it and kind of move on because I think we're both tired of talking about it.
That's the most revealing comment of all. We're both tired of talking about it, meaning this was affecting both their brands and media coverage. The TikTok was essentially a joint PR move to close the story and move the focus back to tennis. Brilliant crisis communication.
But perhaps the most strategic revelation was how Gauff positioned herself during the original controversy.
I didn't want to say anything unless I saw exactly what was said too. But in general, I'm someone I don't preach hate, I preach love, I preach light, and I feel like I just practice what I preach. And if someone were to say something, I feel like most of the time, I'm always going to try my best to take the high road.
Notice the calculated approach? I didn't want to say anything unless I saw exactly what was said. She wasn't reacting emotionally. She was gathering information and crafting a response that aligned with her brand values of love and light. Every word was strategic.
Then came the moment that reveals just how sophisticated her thinking really is.
That's what I would want someone to look up to, and what if I'm thinking about my brothers watching me, and that's what I would want them to do. So yeah, I think for me, there's obviously temptation. I wouldn't be lying, but I don't know, I just want us to be kumbaya, live happily, Hakuna Matata, and be happy here.
This is genius-level strategic thinking. She's not just managing her immediate reputation, she's considering her long-term legacy, her role model status, and her family's perception. Most 21-year-olds react emotionally. She's thinking like a seasoned CEO about stakeholder management.
What makes this even more impressive is how she managed the timeline. While everyone focused on when Sabalenka would apologize, Gauff was controlling the entire narrative arc.
I was like, if she apologizes, not even publicly, it was just more so privately, I will be fine and we'll move on. And she did. And she did again when I saw her before practice.
She set the terms for reconciliation, private apology first, then public peace. She didn't demand public humiliation or dramatic gestures. She created a pathway for Sabalenka to save face while ensuring her own narrative remained intact. That's sophisticated conflict resolution.
Meanwhile, the tennis world was praising her for her natural grace and maturity. But today's revelations show something far more impressive: strategic brilliance disguised as effortless class.
What we're seeing is a new generation of athlete who understands that sports is entertainment, entertainment is business, and business requires strategic thinking. Gauff didn't just win on the court, she won the entire media cycle while making it look effortless.
Consider the brilliance of her approach. She let Sabalenka take all the heat for the controversy, then positioned herself as the gracious winner when the apology came. She controlled the narrative without anyone realizing she was in control.
The most impressive part is how she made her strategic choices look like natural personality traits. The media narrative became Gauff is naturally gracious rather than Gauff is strategically brilliant. That's the highest level of brand management when the strategy becomes invisible.
Even her casual moments reveal strategic thinking. When asked about naming her strawberry mascot, she chose Stro from a young interviewer's suggestion, then immediately said she might rename it later. She's managing even the smallest narrative details.
That strawberry moment is perfect. She honors a young fan's suggestion, great for her youth appeal, but keeps her options open, maintaining control. Even in throwaway moments, she's thinking about stakeholder management and brand positioning.
Most telling moment might be when she admitted that her natural instinct would be to take the high road in most situations, but acknowledged temptation exists. She's revealing the conscious decision-making behind what others see as natural character.
What's remarkable is her self-awareness about the temptation to retaliate. Most people either deny having those thoughts or act on them. She acknowledged them, evaluated them against her long-term goals, and chose the strategically superior option. That's emotional intelligence combined with business acumen.
This raises a fascinating question about the new generation of athletes. Are we seeing the emergence of player CEOs who understand that athletic success is just one component of brand building?
Absolutely. Gauff represents a new paradigm where athletes understand that their sport is content, their personality is a brand, and their responses are business decisions. She's not just playing tennis, she's building a multimedia entertainment empire while maintaining competitive excellence.
The implications go beyond tennis. If a 21-year-old can orchestrate this level of strategic communication while competing at the highest level, what does this mean for how we evaluate modern athletes?
We need to start recognizing strategic communication as a skill set. Gauff didn't just handle a crisis well, she turned it into a brand-building opportunity. That's not luck or natural character. That's learned expertise that should be valued alongside her tennis abilities.
Looking ahead to Wimbledon, if Gauff and Sabalenka meet in the final, we'll be watching two completely different approaches to pressure management. Sabalenka with her newly learned emotional regulation from Djokovic, and Gauff with her sophisticated strategic communication.
That would be fascinating, raw emotional growth versus refined strategic thinking. Both approaches can work, but Gauff's method suggests she's building skills that will serve her long after her playing career ends. She's thinking like a business leader, not just a tennis player.
The most impressive thing about today's revelations is that Gauff chose to share them. She could have maintained the narrative that her responses were natural character traits. Instead, she's educating us about strategic thinking in real time.
That transparency itself is strategic. By revealing her thought process, she's positioning herself as not just a tennis player, but as a thought leader about modern athlete brand management. She's teaching while building her expertise brand.
This breaking episode was brought to you by Unstruct AI, where we examine the strategic thinking behind public narratives. Today we've discovered that while everyone was analyzing Sabalenka's transformation, they missed the real story. Coco Gauff has been the strategic mastermind orchestrating this entire narrative from day one. Her natural grace was actually sophisticated brand management. Her high-road approach was calculated stakeholder analysis. Her spontaneous tick-tock was strategic communication designed to close a damaging story cycle. What we thought was maturity was actually genius-level strategic thinking disguised as effortless class. The new generation of athletes isn't just competing in their sport, they're competing in the attention economy. And Coco Gauff just gave us a masterclass in how to win both games simultaneously. Sometimes the most impressive victories happen off the court, in the minds of strategists who understand that sports is entertainment, entertainment is business, and business rewards those who think 10 steps ahead.